This is Meri at the Meri Atelier, and I've been working on my ragdoll. I'm doing a Nancy Drew ragdoll, trying to keep up with Becky at AuntBecsCreations. She's doing a ragdoll project. She's inviting us to join in on her project, and I thought I would do that. In my last stream, I drew faces. I'm really happy with her face. I made one on fabric here as a test. And yeah, I'm going to embroider her face on, but I wanted to show you what specifically that I'm doing for the hair. Now, Becky had cut off strips from her serger, I believe. However, I might send myself a link. Can I do a, yeah, let me send me a link here. No, I won't do that because it's too much trouble. I'll just hope that I have it in view here because I have to stand up to see it. I'm filming on my camera. All right. So what I'm doing with the hair, she had cutoffs, and I have some little strips that I have dyed with walnut ink, and I decided to go ahead and use those because they're pretty close to what Becky's been using. However, I'm going to do it a little bit differently, and I want to show you. And this is a good piece to show you on because it's doubled up. Look how it's doubled. Is it seamed here? It's a hem is what it is. But that's really cool because it's doubled, and it's even quadrupled in there. Let's cut that bottom piece off because that's going to be way too thick. What I've been doing, now I don't want her hair too long. I might have to make it a little bit shorter here because I don't think Nancy Drew has very long hair, but I'll deal with that later. Right now, I just want to get it on, and it is ragdoll style. Now, Becky's been sewing her strips on, and that's what I'm going to do, but I'm thinking I can do this a little bit easier. And let's just take a piece like this, maybe a little bit shorter. Let's shorten it up a little. Maybe about like that. And it's already cut with pinking shears. But I do want mine to be kind of raggy. And I'm going to put it on the fold like this. And then I'm just going to roll it up. Roll it. And I don't want the rolls too thick because my scissors won't go through them. And we'll just put it like this. And maybe another one. Yeah. And then I'm just going to take my scissors, and here's the fold. I'm not going to cut the fold. I'm going to cut over this row here. So I'll have, and I can cut them pretty thin. I might have to get out my other scissors, but I don't want to cut the fold. Just kind of cut over that row. There we go. And kind of pull it out again now. Did I get it? Well, I'll pull it out after I open it up. But I'm thinking that this is a quick way to make some hair, some dolly hair. And we'll open that up after I get all of these cut. And it'll be in strips as thick as you want it or as thin as you want it. And it'll be easier to sew on this strip than to sew each strip on separately, I'm thinking. Now, it depends on what you're using. You could be using yarn. All right, I think I'll leave it like that. And let's just shake it out. And look, I've got hair. I've got dolly hair. And I didn't cut clear up to the top, so I can take this and put it on her. Now, it looks like a beard now, but once you get hair all the way up, it'll look like hair. And I am stitching it on, such as Becky did in her tutorial. Now, I'm gonna have to start here. And I'm just going to take a few stitches here. I'm not going to stitch this whole thing on, and you'll get the idea. I'll just kind of, well, maybe I will stitch the whole thing on. Let me get it in a good position here so I can grab my needle. And I find I have more trouble keeping the thread straight than anything. Straight and even. And I'm just about done with this, so this will be probably the last piece before I have to put new thread. I don't like too much of a length of thread in my needle for this because this thinner thread does tangle pretty easy. And maybe I'll pin this down so it doesn't roll up again. Get it in here. Just do some little stitches in here. Did I pin my thread down? No. And we'll just do a quick stitch here. So if you're making a rag doll, and if you don't have strips like from your serger or your sewing machine, cut off strips is what Becky used, which I really like. And I like what she's doing, and I want my doll here. I thought about maybe just going and getting some doll hair. And I thought, no, this is a rag doll. We want her to look a little bit raggy. And she will by the time I'm done with her. Because I don't do anything nice and neat. My whole modus operandi is distress. And, whoops. And she says, "You're sticking me in the head, Meri." And I can't get that needle through all of them. It does not like to go through the polyfill. I need a really sharp needle. Some of my needles, because I use them for paper, and I'm just going to knot this and tie it off because it's too short to do anymore. And let's get the needle and the pin out of the way. I got my other pincushion doll here. Penelope, she's supervising. Let's snip this off. And the more of these strips you make and go up, the more full her hair is. Now, I kind of like that length. And I like how it cut it in a strength so it looks, now I might need to go in and snip it a little at the ends here. Because I didn't get all the way down there. That's down there. This one. There. And by the time I'm done, I'll have a nice head of hair. And what I like about this is walnut dyed, or yeah, I think this is walnut ink. And I have some that I just did and kept around. Some of it's got some red in it, which will work for her. Not a lot of it, but there is some red in here that I can maybe put on the outside so it'll show more. But yeah, I'm going to use that for the hair. Then I wanted to show you what I'm doing for the hat. Am I in? Yeah. I don't know if I was in frame the whole time I was stitching. I hope I was. But here it is. So I'm going to keep putting her hair on this afternoon. And her hat, oh, by the way, when I get this done, I'm going to finish reading the book. I'm taking notes as I read the book. I'm going to incorporate the book with the doll. Now, Dee Dee said she was going to send me a doll stand. I'm not sure. I think my dolly may be taller than her stand. We'll see how tall her stand is. If my dolly is taller than the stand, I'm thinking I can take a couple books, maybe not this one, maybe put this one on the top to raise up the stand to where, you know, the stand can sit here and it goes around her waist and then her legs can, you know, I'm thinking, I don't know, but I want to incorporate the book with the doll. So my project may take a little bit longer than Becky. Seems to be moving right along, and you know, I'm still getting things together, and I don't know when I'm going to get. And Dee Dee said she was going to send me some Barbie shoes too, and I'm hoping I'm hoping the Barbie shoes will fit her. I might have to do the Cinderella thing and go, the ugly sister say, my feet will fit that shoe. We'll see. If not, I think that I can make high heels, because you just need to make a little sole, you know, a little sole, and then make it a high heel, put a little wedge on the back of it. So that's what I was planning on doing. We'll see what the Barbie shoes. If the Barbie shoes are too small, I don't know if I can use them on this doll. If I would have known, you know, but might be able to squeeze her feet in there, because I didn't get a lot of stuffing in her feet. That was pretty hard to stuff. So we'll see how that turns out. The other thing I wanted to show you is I'm using this blue fabric because she's going to be dressed in blue. And I'm going to be working on the patterns for her. I'm going to do a pleated skirt and a top. And I think I'm going to use, I have this kind of sari silk that I got from Johnny at Junk Journal Shop. I think I'm going to use this for a scarf, or I may use it for, it's kind of thin for the top, but if I double it, it might go good for a top for her. And I'm even going to try, it would look pretty as a top, could line this and maybe find a blue. Oh, I do have some blue. It's in the other room. I'll show it tonight, that I could use for a blue scarf. However, I want a hat, and I want the hat to be this traditional cup, almost like a polo hat like this. So what I thought is, I was looking at this styrofoam egg container, and I was thinking I could cut this apart. Let's try it right now. I mean, you got to get creative. This is a rag doll. And we'll see if I might have to squeeze it a little. And we'll see if we can cut out one of these cups. I might have to trim it down and squeeze it together a little, but let's just try one here. Excuse the crickling and crackling. I've got 12 chances to get it right. All right. So let's cut this one apart. Well, no, see, they both kind of have but that could go for the front, couldn't it? All right, let's trim it. Well, we're going to have to trim it a little. We could leave it longer in back. Let's do that and see what happens. I mean, you can always cut it off. Alrighty, let's get rid of this for right now. Oh yeah, it just fits. And then I'll need a brim. Now I might have to play with cutting this a little bit more. Maybe I can cut it a little longer. Well, see, that comes in. Let's go back to the egg carton. See where this is in here. So that's going to naturally be a little, let's see if I can do it a little neater. Just come down. I don't want to cut her. Don't cut me. Of course, we can always go buy another carton of eggs if this doesn't work. If I can't get one good one out of 12 of them. Now. Keep your fingers out of the way, Meri. Kind of hard to get in there. Well, see, it does have, see that, but that could work for the face. This one's not quite as deep. Let's go with this one. And see, it already has that rim around it, which I like that. Let's cut this one lower. And then we got this to deal with. And I guess I'll just cut it this way. Whoops, it needs to be a little. Like that. And then it does have a rim. But I was thinking I have enough of a side that I might be able to make a rim out of something here. And I'll cover it. It won't be white. I'll cover it with that blue fabric. We might work on that tonight too. I don't know how late I'm going to be on tonight. I'll start at 7:30. See, now I'll have to kind of tape it. I might have to even make this a little bit thinner for the rim. Let's cut it. Maybe cut it in half. That might be a little too thin. I'm going to go a little thicker on this side. And I might need a flatter piece. This is just a pattern. All right, so I'll have to somehow hook that in there. So I should have probably not cut it. Oh, but I'm liking that. I'm liking that. Let's put it on her head. Put this on here. Like so. It's kind of folded in there. I need a thicker piece. Let's see. Let's do the other side because I've got plenty here. Oh, this one has holes in it. I think there's another egg carton out in the kitchen if I need it. I'll go buy another dozen eggs just so I can have the carton. Come on. Maybe my knife again here. Yes, my fingers are out of the way. Yes, I'm going slow. This is in here. Well, let's cut this off. And this will be all covered with fabric. I don't know if it'll be the same color of fabric. Let's see if I put the rim in here like so. And I could kind of bend it up a little after I get it in there. I might have to stitch it on, hand stitch it on, like that. And the rim actually, I think would go around the whole hat. I don't know how those hats, I guess I'll have to look at the hats a little more. But I don't know if I want mine around the whole hat. I could maybe trim that up a little more in there. I might staple it on, pin it on first. No, if the pins will work. Let's put it on her head. I'm going to have to play with the hat a little more, but I think I got the right idea for a hat. I'll have to trim this off, maybe. Make this a little rounder. Like that. Like that. And let's make the rim red. And stick it on there first. Yeah. And got to remember, I'll have her hair on her before I do all of this. But I think if I cover this in blue fabric, give her some hat pins. Oh, got her face covered. That's not a good pin. Like that. And then this has to come more over this way. And she'll have hair. And like that. And we'll trim that off, but I'm not going to trim it off right now. And then this would be the brim, and I might shape it up a little. You know, it's just a trial here. Just a trial. I kind of like that. I might want a little bit wider brim. So I might have to play with where I put that. Yeah, I think I'm liking that. And I might have more hair coming out. I know Becky said you don't want to put hair, you know, in front of her ear because hair doesn't grow under her ear and her ears come right about to there. Now let's see, where's her face? Where's her face I did? What happened to your face? Nancy, what did I do with it? She said, I don't know. What did you do with my face? It's here someplace. No. Well, I can't find it now. I had a Nancy face. Just lost it. All the hair. Did I knock it off on the floor? Oh, here it is. See, her face will go up in there. So if I'm very cognizant of where I put the eyes, I can have her eyes showing. There. And it'll be embroidered on there. So I think her face would go good right in there. And I think I want some more hair coming down underneath of her hat. Not here, but more up around behind her ear here. And of course I'll want more there, and I'll trim this off. So, and her hat will be, let's go back to the, I'm gonna have a craft lunch here with the egg carton. I think I'm going to try to line this. It's very sheer. I could probably just try to double it. She's got a pretty dark body anyway. Of course, now her face won't be white. Her face will be the color of her skin tone. But if I make her top this color, and her skirt and jacket and hat this color, won't that be pretty? And her hat will be blue too. Her hat will be blue. So I think I'm on a good roll here. For her hat and her jacket will be blue. Does she look like a dolly? Oh, let's pull her out here. I think I'm happy with what I'm doing with the hat. I'm just going to have to fiddle with it a little more. Let's take it out. I wanted to show you, and I wanted to show you what I was doing with the hair. I'll show you one more time here. Let's get all of this out of the way. Here's what her face is going to look like over here. Yeah. So when I'm doing her hair, because my strips are a little wider, this really does work. And I don't think I want them this long, no. So I might shorten her hair up. Well, it could be longer as you go up the head. You know, let's leave this one that's length. And again, these are just strips. Some of them are silky. Some of them are silkier than others. But it's just fabric that I tucked in the walnut jar of ink, the homemade walnut ink that I made. Let's see if I can get this. And because it's all crumbly anyway, it really works for her hair. Not crumbly, but wrinkly. And then I just roll it up. Don't roll it tight because your scissors won't get through there. Just kind of fold it up to something that you think your scissors will get through. And leave maybe about 1/4 of an inch up there that's been folded. And take your scissors and just, now this has been pink and sheared over here. So that works too, but just take your scissors and cut. But don't cut the fold. Don't cut the fold up at the top, because then it'll all fall apart. See? And then you'll have a strip of hairs. A wig. You'll have a wig strips. Here, I'm going to be careful that my scissors don't slip. And see? This is pretty cool, I think. Like this. I am really enjoying this project. If you don't follow Becky at AuntBecsCreations, I'll put a link to her ragdoll. I think she's got it in a playlist now. I'll put a link to it in, if I can't get a playlist, I'll just put a link to her channel and look for ragdoll. It'll be her live streams. They'll be right up at the top. But I think she put them in a playlist, which I should do. But, you know, I get busy. I've been busy all day today. I've been cleaning up my studio. After I get it all sorted out, I'm still sorting, but I'm getting there, you guys. I'm getting there. Let me very carefully cut this. It's not quite to the end here. Look at that. Perfect. And see, that can go, actually that can go over. Yeah, I said I wanted more hair over on this side. Maybe I could bring some shorter hairs coming out you know, out from underneath of her hat. But see, it's in a, let me shake it here, because this one strip is being stubborn. It's in a strip, and you might have to, you know, cut the, make sure that they're all loose down at the bottom. I think they are. But just kind of stitch them on like so. So I'm going to go work on that and work on my studio, and maybe I think Barb is on. Maybe I'll try to catch her video. I don't know if I'll catch her live. But there we go. Now I will be streaming tonight. This is Friday, June the 22nd, I believe. And I will be streaming tonight. I'm going to try to have her hair done by tonight. I don't know if I will. And I got a pattern for the hat. I might go ahead tonight and cover this with fabric and see if I can't work it out, stitch it together so it looks like a hat. Maybe put some, after I get it made here, the brim made. I don't think I'll glue this because I think glue will, it might hold, but I'm going to kind of want to bend up the brim and, you know, I don't know. I don't think stitching it will help. I'm thinking I'll staple it. The staples might pull out too. So we'll see how I handle that. And yeah, I think it's going to work really good for her hat. I want to work on the pattern tonight for at least maybe her top and maybe the pleated skirt. We'll see. So I just wanted you to see what I was, especially wanted you to see what I was doing with the hair, because I think this is a really good idea rather than stitching each little strip on. I get impatient with this stuff. You could probably even fold it a little here and make it fuller at the side and put it right up there. And then her hair could kind of fall down. I don't think Nancy Drew has really long hair. I think her hair is more shoulder length. So I might have to trim some of this off. But I kind of like it long too. So we'll see how she turns out. I need to also put her face on and embroidery it. I probably won't get that done today. All right. Thank you so much for peeking in and seeing where I am on this. And where's that strip of hair? Let's get that out. And put it like this, put it like so, put it like so for my thumbnail. Maybe give her a hat. Put her hat on her. Is it gonna stay? There. She's even got a feather in her hat. All right, thank you for watching, and I will see you tonight at 7:30 p.m. Central. What's this paper's doing? Whoops, now my camera's wiggling. Oh dear. There we go.